And that's why I will never eat at a cafeteria style restaurant again.
I know.
Absolutely. Yep.
I think it's abhorrent. I think you should never have experienced such a travesty.
Thank you,
And
Joe.
yeah, man.
Did they keep it peaceful, Steve, or was it did it interrupt your meal?
Well, it interrupted my life, Elliott, because things have been going kind of well right now, and I'm on an upswing, which is nice, and it's good to recognize that and kind of like live in that a little. But after this cafeteria thing, I just feel like it's really easy to get knocked down. How you guys doing? Welcome.
Speaking of upswing, I had a moment. I went up to Montana for a little trip, a little relaxation, a little.
How was it?
Little R&R.
Little R&R with Hayden. Brought her to a soccer camp up there with Carly Lloyd, 2-time Olympic and 2-time World
name
Cup
drop.
champ. And I went to the park that I grew up, that was right by my place where I grew up. And at this park are what I would call normal swings, which are swings from our youth that are really tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those tall swings, which have, what I have found, maybe at least living in LA, have been mostly replaced with like shorter swings. Like you go to parks and most swings now are not the normal height of, let's say, 15, 20 feet high.
I haven't been keeping up on swing height, so it's interesting.
So here's where I'm going with
Where are we
this.
at on swing height?
But we like them higher. But anyways,
Okay.
I went on a higher swing for the first time in a while, and guys, it was the most refreshing, freeing, fun giggle fest that I've had in a long time.
Why?
I got the tummies. I was going so high. I felt like I was flying. It
Really?
was so good. So in short, TLDR.
No tall.
Guys, go on a big swing. It's really fun.
You're talking about those ones that are like a bench and they
No, just a tall swing, like a swing that has a long chain. A long chain.
just so you're saying you got so much momentum that you were feeling exhilarated.
Yeah, man. I was laughing.
Did you do it all on your own?
giggling. Hayden was there with me.
No,
Just
but
us
like,
two.
were you pushing yourself?
Yeah.
You were using your own momentum? Yeah.
Self-propelled.
That's pretty
Very
impressive.
pure. Very pure, Joe.
I guess it's,
very nice.
you know, it's so funny because like swings are such a fun thing that like you as an adult you start to forget about until you have kids or something, or like you're watching kids or whatever.
You're just walking down the street and you're like, there's a swing. Haven't done that for a while.
Well, it's just like an uncommon thing for an adult to just like go like, I'm gonna get on a swing like in the middle of the day without a kid or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of an uncommon thing. And then it's more common. I remember my swing times would be like in the nighttime, you know, when you would like walk
You
through
were a
the
night
park
swinger?
I was a night swinger. Yeah. I was more of a night swinger because I'd walk through the park at nighttime with my friends and I'd be like, oh, empty swings, no kids around. Let's do it.
Yep. I
Yeah.
think there's a portion of everybody's life. It's like that high school, like you're you're not wanting to be at home around your
You
parents.
just walk around the park with your friends over and over again.
Talking about the night swing.
And like, I now it's like we're too scared to be in parks at night because that's where all the criminals and maniacs are.
I think it's
at
more
night.
of a, as an adult, you can only enter the park, like you said, A, with a kid, or B, by yourself. Like nobody else can be in the park, but if there's other kids in the park, you ain't gonna go swing by yourself.
Yeah,
'cause
so
that's
it's I'd really like to enjoy a little bit of swing time, Joe, like you had, because that sounds really fun and nice.
I suggest it to everybody. And I'm also in mid-conversation realizing that there's a threshold, I think, where playground equipment, every piece of playground equipment has a fun threshold where, depending on who you are, it jumps up a level. Like with a swing, that the length of the chain and how high you can go totally changes the experience.
Right.
Same with slides. You know, you get a taller slide that has a certain angle and lets you get to a certain speed, brings you to another level, like a little bit of fear factor. Same with like a merry-go-round. You're going around, but if you go too fast, brings you to another level.
I know, it's just the speed that brings you to another level, and that's the level I don't really like often.
The merry-go-round thing is when you start to recognize that you can hurt yourself as a person.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And damage things. So I like the swings. The merry-go-round, I'm happy to never go on one of those again. Those are dangerous. The ones that have
Merry-go-round.
no limit on them, and you can just go insanely fast. Like it turns it into a gravitron.
Dude, they are
basically. You know how you do
literally-
on gravitrons, Joe.
Yes, I do.
Should we refresh the audience?
My asshole fell out.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes. I think it starts with you.
So Joe, last week we had DJ Wooldridge
How
on
was
the show,
DJ?
and he was so pleasant, and we just talked about his comic book for a really long time and his Kickstarter, and then we talked about movies and really bored Elliott a lot. But I want to say,
Out of my mind.
Elliott went to a really wonderful place with his beautiful fiance.
Dean, you guys talked about it already.
No, we didn't. We saved it.
Yes.
We saved it. So
Yes!
that's what this is. This is us catching up with Elliott on Elliott
we
and
go.
Grace's Disneyland adventure.
Here we go.
And I want to know all about it. Please, Elliott, go.
This is the post Disneyland breakdown.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I obsessed over planning it really hard.
Because you really wanted her
We
to
wanted
enjoy
it to
it.
be perfect.
I
yeah.
really did. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Nailed it. We nailed everything.
Nice.
It
You
was
really did
wonderful.
your due diligence. You were hitting up friends. You were like, I remember you were asking
Yeah.
lots of questions.
Lots of questions. We stayed at the Grand Californian, and we checked our bags at the front, and we were then allowed to enter California Adventure. Spent a full day at California Adventure. Did every ride except Incredicoaster, I believe. I will say a few things about the first day. The Cars ride is absolutely incredible.
It's unbelievable.
I can talk about it now because I've actually been on it.
Yeah, it's very
I
fun.
finally went on it.
Guardians was disappointed.
Oh, because you're a Tower of Terror stan?
Yeah, apparently I am. Really enjoyed it, but just not the same as Tower of Terror. It's not as cool. Everything else in California Adventure was wonderful. We went back, saw the World of Color, got tickets for it in the virtual queue.
Oh, I love
wonderful.
that. So you did it all.
Right
You did
up
everything right. You did everything well and right.
Yeah, we did the mobile ordering for like getting little beers and whatnot throughout the day. That's very convenient. We did lightning lanes for everything. Never had to wait in line more than like 10 minutes. It was incredible.
Whoa,
Except for
any-
Soarin'.
For
Soarin'
any
we
ride? Holy crap.
How
The
long-
very first ones we did Soarin', and that was about 45-minute wait, and that was
Wait.
it.
For a little educational purpose for me in the audience, is lightning like you pay an exorbitant amount to make sure that you're at the front of the lines? Is
You're
that what
paying
that is?
for
For-
fast passes.
One ride to 2 rides per park you pay, and that's called individual lightning lane. And then there's the Genie Plus lightning
I know the
lane.
Genie Plus, which is just
Yeah.
the new Fast Pass.
You pay for extra on your ticket, and then you can reserve for later, basically.
Yeah,
I don't know if
okay.
anybody will find this particularly
It's
interesting.
so
We had a
confusing,
great
and they
time.
need to get rid of it.
We went to Disneyland the next day, immediately did Rise of the Resistance, and Rise of the Resistance we walked directly on. It is the greatest ride I have ever
The
experienced.
greatest technological marvel
blew
of our
blew
time.
my mind. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
Can't believe I'm allowed to experience it. It was
I know.
wonderful.
Isn't it awesome that we're alive to experience that ride?
It's like as a kid, if I could tell my younger version of myself that this ride was going to exist, I'd be like, all right, I'll stay alive till
Yeah.
my mid-30s.
Because it combines so many ride elements, and you're just like in it from the get-go.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
man,
perfect
what a
ride.
beautiful. And so, what
Then-
was Grace's? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
She loved it. After that, we got directly into the cantina, which didn't expect to do.
Yeah.
Got a little reservations, got to sit down there, have a couple drinks.
Jello
Android
blue
was
milk?
doing its thing. She got her blue something or other. Oh, actually, I think I got a blue thing. She got.
Did
a
you
thing
try
or
the
something
blue
else.
milk outside of the cantina?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, that's all right.
Is that cool?
Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll just, it's okay. You guys just keep going. I'm gonna take
Wait,
some notes.
no.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna take some notes.
Wait, what's
That's all right.
Wait, what?
I'm just taking notes. That's all.
What go on?
I said I'm
What-
taking notes.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Elliott didn't try the blue milk.
Smuggler's Run was fine. We did Matterhorn way late at night. We kept making, because we would leave the park and come back to the park, and toward the end we were just so tired, and we were like, you guys shouldn't let us back in the park, and we just kept going back. We ate at the Blue Bayou restaurant, which was very nice.
Was Pirates open again?
No, it's opening like now, I think. It was a day before Pirates opened.
Were they renovating? Were they changing something? Or was
They're
it just
renovating.
Renovating.
Cool.
Yeah.
Refurbishing.
No more Pirates.
Wonderful time.
Did you go on Splash?
I went on Splash, and I got sat in the front, and children got sat in the back. And so I was the heaviest and in the front, and I got wetter on that than I have gotten wet on anything in my whole life.
Whoa. Keep it PG, friend.
I know.
Well, it's an erotic ride. It's an
Splash
erotic
is weird,
experience.
too. Splash is weird because they took away, like, the plot of the ride, but it's still like Brer Bear and all that, but there's no story. You're just
really?
Like at the end, you see
Feels
everybody
disjointed?
singing, but they don't have leading up to it like the whole thing where the guy's like running away, and you
don't have them be. You don't. There's not that moment where Brer Rabbit's mom is like, "Where's my son, Brer
exactly.
Rabbit?"
It's
Really?
just gone. It's just
Weird.
The end just has the end scene, and then you're like, okay, I guess there's no tale, no story, and then they're like, here's the thing. Go off the ramp.
Well, they're slowly turning it into Princess and the Frog, right?
They are. They're gonna close it down.
Is that what it is?
They're closing it down for good, real soon. Probably December.
It seems that way. It seems like they're already kind of clearing stuff out. Anyway, it was great. We did Space Mountain. We did all this stuff. We did Buzz Lightyear's Ass Blasters, which is surprisingly
Love that
fun.
one. Did you do
And,
Star Tours?
Didn't do Star Tours. No, I did it as a kid, but it was didn't interest.
Star Tours is still cool, but man, with all that other new stuff, it's like, why do you Star Tours?
I'll tell you why you Star Tours, because every time you go on it, it's a potentially different experience.
But if you've got your Star Wars fill from earlier
That's
in the
true.
day, that's why. Did you go on Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones is absolutely incredible.
It's
It's
my
one of the
favorite
best
ride.
rides. It's one of the best
Ever.
rides.
Blew my mind. It
Yeah.
was second to Rise of the Resistance. I was like, what has this been my whole life?
I know. Indy's
That was
so
your first
good.
time on Indiana Jones? Oh,
Yeah, as a kid, it was just a show. It was just a little
Because in
performance.
Florida, because
Yeah.
Anaheim got the ride and Florida has the show.
Oh,
man.
really? Is that
The
what
ride
it
is so
Okay.
cool. I love it so much.
Dude,
It's
that's
amazing.
one of the
I was like,
best
look at
rides.
this. I was like, I'm in a temple. I'm
You're
in a real
temple.
I'm in a big ass Jeep. Look at there's another Jeep. We're gonna hit that Jeep.
And there's
Yeah.
there's flames and snakes and mice and I don't even know what's going on.
So good.
Yeah. It was wonderful.
So now you went to Disney hoping to win over somebody that in their heart they thought they weren't a Disney park attraction human being. How did it go? What's the review?
I will tell you about this moment, Joe, that happened. It was a very funny moment. At one point, Grace, second day, turns to me and she says, in all seriousness, should we become Disney people? And I said,
my
I don't
goodness.
think you mean that. And she goes, yeah, you're right. I don't. But she had a great time. It said definitely as we left, we were like, we don't need to do this for an incredibly long amount of time. Like we're good for a long, long time on Disney.
The magic in
It's great.
Disneyland is undeniable for sure. But in our
that's why I asked. I was like,
climate,
I was like, do you feel? I was like, you get like how it's like magical, and she was like, oh no, it is like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we played a little game where after the first day, we started recognizing that around 3 to 4 p.m. is when all the families start turning on each other like cannibals, and they start crying. The kids start crying,
I love
and the
that. Everyone's cranky.
It's like clockwork, and we were like, we would leave and like chill out, and then go back into the park. We're like, let's go see all these miserable parents.
I know.
As it'd be like a wave. We're going, we're getting out of here. Let's go.
So with what I know about Grace, she seems to be a fan of like the kitschy and the quaint and the like really creative, like fun, weird things. Like, did anything stand out to her where she was like, I can't like the Newsy Boys singing in the middle of the street, or just like random moments that aren't necessarily rides, but things that like she was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome." From a Grace
at one
standpoint.
point we walked out and there was like a little tiny parade going on, and it was all the little characters running down the street, and I think she thought that was pretty cool, but she also thought it was cool that I thought it was cool, so I don't know if she really thought it was cool, or if she thought I thought me liking it was cool, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And then besides that, it was just as we were getting on Soarin', she was like, "Oh, I forgot I love rides," and she just loved every one of the rides. And then when she'd get off, she'd be like, "Oh, that was great. Okay, let's go do another one. Okay, great." And I was like, "Oh, this is really fun." It is, because I was worried she was going to be like, some cynical, curmudgeon
And that's
about
okay.
it.
That's okay. Like, and look, I've talked to people who are like, I'm not into crowds. I'm not into kids. I'm not into this or that. Yeah.
There was a moment where after the fireworks, because we were like, the whole time everyone's like, it's so busy, you gotta watch out, there's so many, there's so many crowds, it's so busy today, and we're like we're going early enough that we're able to get into basically anything we want. But then at the end of the day, when we saw the fireworks, it was an amount of people that even I was like, ooh, this is a lot.
It can get overwhelming for sure.
Yeah, she can get a little panic attacky, and we had to kind of do that thing of like, we're going to breathe and we're going to get out of here. But the amount of people funneling out of one exit was bonkers. And we took COVID tests afterward. I was like, there's no way we don't have that.
Right?
Like,
Right.
And we were in the clear, but it was
But you had the most magical
panicking.
COVID on Earth. So
Exactly.
I like that. I like when people are kind of like, I'm not into Disneyland, and the idea of it is just fine. I like that it exists, but it's not really for me. And then you get that person to Disneyland, and then they're like, all right, it's magical and wonderful, and I love it, and rides are cool, and all this fucking food and magic is great.
I've one embarrassing tale.
Ooh, I can't wait.
And then we can move on.
Give it to us.
And you'll hear that tale right after this.
Right after this, everybody. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I can sometimes get annoyed at minor injustices that don't really affect me at all. Like morally righteous, you could say, or aggressively, how do I put this? Like, I don't want to say asshole, but I can be very overly justified, have a sense of someone, the first day, so we go back into the park and we're going on the river rapids in California Adventure, those things?
Yeah, Grizzly River Run.
So I see this family of 4, okay, but it's all adults, so a group of 4. 3 of them skip the through the lightning lane, right?
Oh, I don't like this.
Now, here's my problem is, as Grace explained to me, sometimes my voice carries. And if I'm upset about, again, a minor inconvenience that doesn't really affect me at all, or anybody, I can become very problematic, and I
indignant.
Indignant, that's the word. I started becoming indignant. And they were very boastful about the fact that they'd skipped in line. I don't like that. I feel like it's an inconvenience to other people.
Hey, Jerry,
It's not what
we
you
did
do.
it. Nobody
It's not-
behind us cares either.
And you can just to picture what these people would look like. They could have, maybe they were from Florida. I don't know. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. They seemed like they looked like they were from Florida.
You could tell, probably. You know.
And so I was I wasn't saying a word. Grace brought up something, and I was like, I'm not getting on the ride with these people in front of me. I was like, I'm just not going to do it. I was like, they skipped the line. I was like, I don't think that's cool. By the way, I'm about a foot away from them saying this. One of the guys hears everything that I'm saying.
Oh, no.
He starts leaning back to me, and I was like, I don't give a shit. I was like, whatever, you don't do that. I was like, you just don't do that. You don't, whatever.
Good for you, man.
I guess that wasn't what I was hearing from my partner. It was like, just stop talking. So we get up to the line, and I tell I'm like, okay, can we get on the next raft? I don't want to go with those folks. And for some reason, it's like the hill I was going to die on. And the cast member's like, yeah, go to the next one. I was like, okay, no problem. So we go to the next raft. We get sat with the most conservative, traditionally Catholic family I've ever met in my life. And like the Dad, no offense, seemed like it's just a very meek, maybe, has some stuff to work out internally. Very Catholic. The kids are just terrified. Like, they can't believe, like, we're, like, having fun, and they're just, like, these, like, fragile children.
They're watching you
children.
more
They
than
can
the
feel
ride.
the devil in your soul. Yeah,
Exactly. So we talked to them. They're really sweet, I guess, and you could tell they're like real Disney people. And Grace was kind of not really messing with them, but she was being, herself, I guess, and it was all very fun. We get off. No big deal, right? Okay, and I was like, all right, maybe I overreacted with that family. That wasn't cool. They didn't really need to hear that. No big deal. I don't care, whatever. I'm going to go enjoy my day. So I'm thinking, I'm never going to see this family again. So the next day, we're at Disneyland. I've forgotten about it entirely. I made sure to get reservations at Blue Bayou so that we could have somewhere to eat inside.
No.
So we're waiting on our table. We finally get sat down, and Grace goes, "Did you see who came in?" And I said, "What? Who?" And she goes, "Your park nemesis."
The next
and I was like,
day?
What? I was like, what? And she was like, oh, yeah. Yeah. He definitely clocked you when he came in.
Whoa.
They're still staring at you. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then we just ate next to them for like an hour.
Did they give you weird looks or like?
I didn't look at once.
Good for you. Really?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna,
Until that moment, like they finished before you, and the dad got up. He fucking he sent the family on their way, but he came up to your table and he slowly bent down to your ear and he whispered, "I loved you on SourceFed."
Can you imagine? Oh man!
You know what though, man? You don't do that. You don't do the like bring all your friends up to the front of the line like as soon as the ride is ready to go thing. I agree with you, Elliot. You don't do that.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
and these people do it, and there's zero consequence. There's zero. They don't feel remorse or guilt or anything.
No.
So I think the fact that you made it clear that you were unhappy about that was a good thing. I think people need to hear that because I frequently hang out in the Reddit, Disney Reddit subreddits and read about what's going on in Disney and stuff. And these people, a lot of threads talk about cutters and people cutting the lines and stuff.
Well, if you're a certain type of individual, you're going to take advantage of it because the happiest place on earth is going to avoid confrontation at all points of conflict. They're just going to be like, you let the cutters cut. Not a lot of people do it. Just let it go.
Yep. I usually let it go. I mean, I just because it's like it's not gonna ruin my day. Like I used to be like, oh yeah, is that what you're doing? Like stuff like that, like passive aggressive.
That's kind of That's where I was. I wouldn't say I handled it.
I just love that you went all. I'm not gonna ride with that family.
I love it.
I love the morality, the code of ethics that I suddenly adopted in that moment. Like I'm some sort of good person was crazy.
And then you have this this karma twist of fate where you're sitting with like white supremacists on.
Yeah. The polar opposite. Like I purposely too, because you're sitting on this raft and like I know this kid is just like. These kids have never seen or talked to anybody, and Grace was like just chatting them up, but our knees kept touching, and I just kept pushing my knee to touching it more just to freak them out.
You ever had another human touch you?
He said it was. You ever had the skin to skin contact?
It's way better than having to watch the cutter, look face to face at the cutters.
Oh yeah, it's like I'm not gonna sit around and just look at them and be like,
just spinning.
Also, that dude
so
farted
funny.
on us after he heard us talking about him.
No way, you got farted on.
Farted, and then I said out loud, and now he's farting on us.
Damn.
But the fact that they show up at the restaurant, the one restaurant at Disneyland that we got reservations to,
and the
they
next
also
day,
had reservations. The next day.
Which means they were also staying there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are one visit people and then they take off.
Yeah.
One dayers.
You got so lucky that they followed you around 2 days in a row.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky.
So did you guys like exchange numbers or anything?
Are you guys friends on Facebook?
Yeah. When they walked in the restaurant, I was like, I'm going to ask our server if they can
if they can move us.
Yeah.
Kick them out. Yeah, they I have it on good authority that they're cutting lines all day.
We got cutters over here, table 14.
I said cutting lines. Yeah.
You should have ordered them a meal without any cutlery. And you could they would have been it's from table 2 over there. They ordered you this nice meal, but they said no cutters.
Can you send this plate of finished food to that?
Can you send my empty jambalaya? Hey, excuse me, waiter. Here's a little $20 bill. Do me a favor and just start clearing their table now. Will you start bussing their table mid-meal? Thank you.
Oh,
I'll give you $20 to send the worst server to their table.
It's so funny too because I was so oblivious that they were even there, and Grace not only sees them see me, and then informs me of it, and then we're like, well, I guess we'll just sit here and eat this dinner now that I tried reserving, thinking it'd be all nice. It was great.
How was the food there? Was it like you felt like you were at an actual fancy restaurant, or were you at a theme park's version of a fancy restaurant?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both, but the it's like one of the only places you can get like a cocktail, but you can only
in Disneyland.
In Disneyland.
Yeah. But it was really good. The food was incredibly good at that restaurant. It was very nice.
I like Blue Bayou a lot, and it's really more about the atmosphere there than anything. But I think the food is pretty good too.
Is it? I know. Cajun food? Cajun?
Yeah.
Or is it
Cajun? Oh. Yeah. Speaking of atmosphere, just to whatever. And I know people are probably bored with this, but the Galaxy's Edge Park is pretty freaking cool.
It's really well done, right?
Pretty you feel like you're in another world.
I really did. There were a few, especially in Rise of the Resistance, where I think I'm in Star Wars right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, I wish I liked Harry Potter more because I felt like, they probably did really well with Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. But man, the Star Wars land is my Harry Potter as far as knowing those locations and things like that. And it's just so magical to walk through there. And then there's the Millennium Falcon, and it's the actual size of the Millennium Falcon. You can just get right into it, You feel like you can get right in and fly away. And then you're constantly hearing ships taking off and landing all around you. And it's like, man, this seems like a really active, bustling, I don't feel like I'm in Disneyland.
Yeah, the fact there's no signage, there's no Star Wars logos anywhere. Mm-hmm. There's no
Yeah, right. Really cool. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
When you ask where the bathrooms are, they go the refreshers are that way. It's refreshers.
At the end of the cantina, they say safe travels.
Dude, there's all these there's all this lingo. Batu is the planet that you're on when you're in Galaxy's Edge, and there's all this lingo till the spires means goodbye, and bright suns means good day.
That's really
there's all
sweet.
these really cute little phrases. Every time I go with people, I'm like, we gotta tell all the cast members in Galaxy's Edge bright suns and shit, and they say it right back to you, and they're really into it and shit. But the cool thing was when Galaxy's Edge first opened, all the cast members were so into being role playing and stuff, and you could go up to somebody and be like, where are the napkins? And they're like, what are napkins? And you'd be like, whoa, I'm not on Earth anymore. And you go into this shop and you'd want to pay for your stuff, and they go oh, you're using off-world credits. Okay, well, we have a machine for that. It's oh. Nice. But now it's you go up to somebody and you're like, where's the popcorn? They go popcorn's over by the toilet.
I'm too old for this shit.
There was a guy playing a cast member playing one of the toy instruments you can buy in the shops when I was there with, I forgot who I was there with, but they were just standing around and being atmosphere. And in the Star Wars universe, that kind of music is called jizz.
Is it really?
I swear to God, it's called jizz. George Lucas and all the the characters in the cantina are called Jizz Wailers, and they're a jizz band. And so this cast member was like playing this like instrument, and I go over and I go, "Is that jizz I hear?" And he's like, "I don't know. This is my first day." I'm like, "Well, fuck you." I'm like, all right, well, thanks for the immersion.
Okay. Well, it is, just so you know. It is jizz, just so you know.
It is jizz.
Hey, kid, you like jizz?
I love that George Lucas was like, what's a space name for jazz? I could... Jaws? No, that sounds too much like Spielberg's movie. Jizz!
They call theater in Star Wars gaping vagina.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But anyway, I love that. Did you guys come off of the Rise of the Resistance ride just feeling like, holy shit, what did I just
I was
go
like
on?
speechless. I was
Life
like,
will never be the same again.
You're speechless when you get off that ride.
It was also
Truly.
like, we got off the ride at like 10 a.m. And we were like, well, what do we do now?
Yeah, I know,
Like,
it's all downhill from there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to talk to you guys, if you don't mind, about a particular service that people can click a link on in the description if they would like to help the podcast out.
Well, this sounds cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, and this is all and this is almost as cool, if not cooler, than Disneyland, guys.
Let me get my notes.
Yeah, write this down. I'm talking about
Take 'em on my
HelloFresh,
phone.
everybody. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. In fact, I'm going to be having HelloFresh for lunch later today.
Yeah.
I had
making
it
some
the last
sandwiches.
2 days, and it's
It's
awesome.
so good. Isn't it wonderful? And you know why it's wonderful? Well, you can choose from 55 at least weekly options featuring pre-portioned high-quality ingredients picked at peak ripeness. HelloFresh delivers fresh quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, so you can savor summer flavors right from home. Also, you can select meals from the Taste of Summer series that are sure to become everyone's new favorite, like the Old Bay shrimp and sausage boil and family-style grilled steak lettuce wraps. Now, that Old Bay shrimp and sausage boil sounds like something you might get at the Blue Bayou, everybody. If you get it at the Blue Bayou,
indeed.
maybe check out HelloFresh. And also, are you going away this summer? Well, guess what? You can update your delivery address and enjoy HelloFresh at your vacation destination with just a click. Plans are flexible, so they work with your changing schedule. You guys want to hear more about it? Well, guess what? You can check their little meatloaf things out, too. I always mention it, tiny meatloafs. Order them. They're absolutely delicious. And if you would like to get involved, you can go to HelloFresh.com/ValleyCast16 and use code ValleyCast16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 gifts.
That's a lot of free meals.
A lot of free, and it's 3 free gifts.
Whoa!
And you can go, yeah, HelloFresh.com/ValleyCast16 and use code ValleyCast16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Check them out, you guys. Thanks.
Hey, I'm going to give HelloFresh a little bit more love here because I have made it twice in the last 2 days, and I just want to say it makes you a better human because
You feel like a chef, like a professional chef.
I'm learning how to cook just by following the recipes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I could have 7 vegetables that I got from the store without HelloFresh, and I wouldn't know what to do with them. This damn service is teaching me how to cook, and it's really I know how to make salsa now, which is
Yeah,
odd.
it makes
crazy.
you kind of responsible. It makes you responsible in a way that you.
I love it.
You that is easier than you think.
Yep, big fan. Anyways,
Yeah.
thank you, HelloFresh.
Thank you, HelloFresh. Thank you, guys. That was my Disney trip, and I hope you had a great time. And I recommend everybody go at least once. It's a good time.
I love
also,
it.
it's the most expensive. It's the most expensive place in the world.
So expensive.
I mean, I don't know in the world, but certainly it's too expensive now. And it's like it's really one of those things where it's like this seems like it's only accessible to a certain group of people now at this point, and it's really unfair and sad.
I'm that dad that only dad hacks his way in, which is probably annoying for my family, but it's like we fortunately live in an area where we have some friends or friends of friends that are employees, and those employees have like park passes they can give out. And when I get those, that's when I go to Disneyland.
Yep.
Don't pay for that.
That's like
No way.
Owen. Owen. Speaking of Owen again, I love him so much, but Owen will only go if he gets a. I know I miss him so much. I see every time I go to Disneyland, I think of Owen.
See him in every character.
I see him in
Little bit of
every
Owen.
cigarette butt in the trash.
Oh man, dude, when we first arrived in the morning at California Adventure, because I was like a dad getting on an airplane. I was like, it's time to wake up. Let's go. Like,
Right?
it's 6 a.m. Like, we got to make it to
You
Anaheim.
can
We got
do
to check our
your
bags.
makeup in the car.
Exactly what I said. Yeah, I was like, if we get in the park by 9:30, we should be good. We can hit store. We do this. We show up at Grand Californian or whatever, and we drop the car off. The wave of niceness that these cast members hit me with was off-putting to the umpteenth degree. I was like, you gotta calm down. Like, as soon as we got that call, good morning, sir. Like, how did that? And I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a long couple days.
I know. It's weird. It's weird to have people like treat you that way.
It was really sweet because I believed it. I don't think they were faking it. Like, these genuinely seemed like the sweetest, nicest people, but it was just a lot. It was a lot.
Some of them, for sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love Disneyland so much. I'd love to go with you guys at some point. I think it would be really fun. It'd be hard to plan, but it'd be really, really fun. Oh, go ahead.
How often do you go, Steve? Do you have like magic key or whatever?
Well, I got the magic key, yeah, because I was like, fuck it. There was that whole year of it being closed, and then there was a year plus of staying away from it because
is magic key just a pass so you can go anytime you want?
Magic key is their annual pass now, yeah, and it's it's expensive as fuck as usual, but
is it like you go 5 times and you paid it off?
Yes, exactly. It's nice to be able to go. It's not like the old days. Like, you have to really plan it out. Did Elliott die? There he goes. Oh, now he's back.
Now he's back.
There's a little bit of an internet connection problem or something. But yeah, it's like you have to like plan in advance, and you have to like look at a calendar and be like, all right, well, I guess Tuesday of 2024, whatever, like, it's like that might work, I guess. But once you figure it out, it's nice. It's just the park is so different now, and it's just that it's crowded as fuck all the time, and it's something where, like, man, I guess I'll just go when I can, and I probably won't get another pass after this for a while.
Yeah, it's definitely very different than it was when I was.
Yeah. It's okay, though. It's still fun and awesome, and the rides are really fucking cool. Yep. So, I'd love to present you guys with a bunch of Would You Rathers at some point, but was there anything else that's been going on that we want to talk about? I finished Stranger Things. I'm all caught up on Stranger Things.
I liked it. I know you weren't a fan previously, Steve, of the nostalgia bomb, but I liked how dark it got. Yeah. I don't know where it's going to go from here. I finished Barry, also very dark.
Very dark.
Everybody's so unlikable in that show that it's hard to watch for me now.
Very dark, is that what Elliott said?
Very dark.
Very dark.
Very
dark.
I'm officially caught up on The Boys. And
okay,
awesome.
so I haven't watched the finale of The Boys yet, so please no spoilers there. But
sorry, dude, there's a twist. They're all girls.
Whoa, what a twist.
Oh.
Could you imagine if that's that's like the big finale? What?
Psych! They girls.
The boys? Yeah, they're all girls.
The boys, more like the girls. And the next season's just called The Girls. What if they do a spinoff called The Girls? I bet they'll do it.
We'll ask Malcolm. Malcolm knows everything.
Oh, really quick, there was a thing. Man, did you guys see? God, the internet's getting so annoying. Social media is so annoying.
Wow, you're catching up, Steve?
What's
happening here?
Well, it didn't really leak into... I mean, it's been leaking into my timeline in a way because, I curate my timeline to be mostly comedy stuff and Friends and movie stuff. And the movie...
And a little bit of eugenics.
Yeah, of course. And NFTs, can't forget NFTs.
Potato.
But the fucking movie nerd discourse is a thing, and there's a lot of vocal nerds out there, and a lot of them are toxic and gross. They're in all the communities, and social media just like puts them all together and gives them a big ol' platform. So it's like obviously the nerd world has been disgusting and awful for a long time, but recently something happened in the nerd world that I found interesting, and I kind of want to talk to you guys about it really quickly. Taika Waititi, who is a very amazing, very funny,
charismatic,
creative artist.
He's experiencing some backlash.
He's a gift. He's experiencing a little backlash, and I think it's like time for people to calm the fuck down for once about a nerd complaint. But basically, so he directed Thor: Love and Thunder, this new movie coming out, starring Tessa Thompson and Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth and all those big stars. Christian Bale's
never heard of him.
Huge movie, big stars. And there's a featurette where Taika and Tessa Thompson are like watching clips from the movie
and making fun of it.
And like kind of just making fun of it, like roasting it or whatever. Yeah. And there's one shot where there's like a big CG character and Taika plays it. He's this big rock guy. What's his name? Tor or Grog or some shit. I don't remember what his name is. Gringle.
Gringle.
Dopey.
He's standing there and he's a fully CGI rock man character. And he's standing there with all these real human people. And it's a freeze frame from the trailer. And Taika's looking at it and he's like, does that look real to you? And Tessa's like, no, no, it doesn't. And then they start laughing about like, well, these guys don't look real either. These like huge, muscly, amazing, like beautiful actors. And that was it. It was literally Taika just going like, that doesn't really look real, does it?
That's the clip he's getting backlash over?
Yeah. And now everyone is like, how dare you? Like, I would hate it if the director came out and said, look at how bad this CGI works when these people are underpaid, overworked, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay.
I don't think that's what he was doing.
Hold on a second. Everyone can't wait to take something that is a beloved. Like, everyone loves Taika, right? Like, there's no reason to not like Taika at all. And so they find...
Until you realize that everybody likes Taika. And when everybody likes somebody, I don't like that. I don't like
and he's
that.
into eugenics.
They're just waiting. Like, people are just waiting. People are waiting for them to fuck up so they can be like, yeah, well, they're so perfect and beautiful and wonderful and charismatic and everybody loves them. But look at how they treat their visual effects artists or whatever. And it's like,
I mean, to be fair, I'm not very nice to my visual effects artists either.
Listen, here's my take on this. CGI, computer generated imagery, no matter how good you are, there's still this thing called the Uncanny Valley, and we can't really explain it. And our brains have a hard time looking at something that isn't organically a human or an organic thing, and instantly our brains go, and whether you ignore it or not, our brains feel something weird when we see a CG thing. That's just it. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's more science behind it and psychology behind it. Maybe it's a fight or flight thing because we're meant to recognize predators or whatever. But whatever it is, there's something about CG stuff that just like it will never fully fool us because we'll be able to figure it out. And I think there's just no really good CG. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a completely CG character that to me made me feel like that was real. Like, I know it's animated, I know it's not there, but I try to ignore it. And so I think that this is so stupid that people are making fun of the director for shitting on these visual effects artists a little bit. But people are so angry. They're so angry. Because they're like, here's the guy that's so happy and getting all the fortune and glory from the work on this movie, and he's just shitting on his team.
Yeah, it's jealousy. It's a little masturbatory too.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Because look, we understand that visual effects artists are overworked and work really hard and stuff, but there's no amount of work that can really go beyond the Uncanny Valley yet. I don't know. Avatar looks
just like
good.
insulting. Like, the people who've been working on that, I'm sure have a sense of humor and are normal
Absolutely!
human beings. It's so patronizing to be like these little, puppies being overworked or whatever. It's like they're human. I'm sure they thought it was funny too. If they even saw it, they probably just went on to their next job. They don't care.
Dude, I just want to be like, I mean, come on. Just, yes, exactly, have a sense of humor. And it's like, obviously, these people that love Taika that are mad at him now don't understand that this guy's a comedian first and foremost. You know?
Well, next week we have Taika on the podcast, so he can...
We'll talk all about it.
And, yeah.
Maybe he'll clear the air.
Yeah. It'll be an exclusive.
But yeah, man, I mean, whatever. I hate that he's probably going to have to come out and say, like, I love all my artists. I love all my friends. Oh, God, Joe, what happened?
I'm showing you what real CGI looks like. You can't tell that it's fake.
Oh, my God.
Whoa, that is...
Like,
it doesn't sound like you only have 2 teeth, but you do.
But right, like, but this is like, I just wanted to provide an example of what great CGI looks like. You know what I'm saying?
That's the guy that cut in line at Disney. Yeah, there he is.
Do you have a baseball cap you could put way too low down onto your face? Uh-oh, this is gonna look weird.
Oh, this guy cut in line.
Hey babe, I'm gonna go fart on that guy.
Is that supposed to be a baby?
It's so uncomfortable looking.
All right.
Anyways,
well, anyway, what do you guys think about this Taika thing? Do you have a sense of humor, or are you being a big baby about it? Let us know in the comments. Okay, so you guys want some would you rathers? I got a couple lined up here. Who would you rather fight? 8 7-year-olds with no weapons, 3 5-year-olds with knives, or 2 3-year-olds with AK-47s at a semi-close range? Joe, if you look like that, I don't think I'd work with you. I don't know. I guess if you look like that, but you're still as funny and everything, I probably would. But I'd use you in a different way.
Yeah.
we'd have you doing things you probably don't want to do.
I think I'd go with the unarmed any amount.
The unarmed 8 7-year-olds.
I just want to say, as a man who is raising currently an 8-year-old who was not very long ago a 7-year-old, way stronger and wilier.
You look like a local news sports reporter
than you think.
Can you tell us what happened in the big game last night?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew or not, but the Polson Pirates met their rivals, the Whitefish Bulldogs, last night. It was a real barn burner. 4 quarters of back and forth action. Final score, 19-18. Wow. Basketball's a tough one in Montana.
Dude, Joe, Joe, you gotta do this on TikTok. Just be this guy and put a news anchor background on it.
Anyways,
I got stung by 14 bees on my nose this weekend. Back to you, Tom.
Back to you.
Okay, so Joe, so you're saying these are
you guys smell something? I smell something.
I know. We know you smell something. We can
tell you smell something.
I always smell something.
We know. Joe, 8 7-year-olds with no weapons, 3 5-year-olds with knives, or 2 3-year-olds with an AK-47.
7-year-olds are strong, but the no weapons is pretty good. But they could overwhelm you. They're not gonna kill you, but they
could tire you out.
It's gonna be a tougher battle than you think. Man, as soon as we start putting real weapons into the equation, it's hard for me to even think about it.
You said it, buddy.
Back to you.
Give a 3-year-old.
Telling it like it is.
And as always, who knows? I do. Who knows? I am.
All right, Janine here. I'm here with your weather.
Oh, wow. Fun.
We love this. You look gorgeous today.
It's going to be a little bit of a scorcher because it's always a scorcher these days.
What is this supposed to be? God, I'm so uncomfortable.
Taika, does this look real?
Have you guys seen the clip of the bowling guy when he goes, who do you think you are? I am.
Yes, it's the best thing ever. It's the bowling guy. Yeah, who do you think you are? I am.
Is that the guy that like he wins and he just goes off like he's just screaming?
Yeah. He like
Pete
his
Weber.
brain goes away because he's so happy. Joe, are you an alien?
I don't know. I'm a something. Maybe it's just a. Yep. Okay. Anyways, give us. So, what's your guys' answers?
Well, you know, I think the young baby, I think the 3-year-olds with guns is interesting because I think maybe I could figure out how to get around. I could just take those guns away from them real fast. Like a 3-year-old, you think a 3-year-old can figure out how to take me down with an AK-47 at a close range?
Not purposely.
Maybe.
Not purposefully. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I might take the chance.
Accidentally.
Yeah, the chances though of an AK going off accidentally are going to be more dangerous than a knife, which is going to be more dangerous than their little weak arms trying to throw punches.
So who are you gonna fight, Steve?
Joe, what's going on?
I'm Ali Sheedy from the Breakfast Club.
Nice. Yeah, that is what it is. That's a fascinating filter.
Anyways,
What is it,
Look at
Joe?
his hair.
that movie at the end, they only spent an afternoon together, and all of these completely opposite people were fucking by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
All
sure
of
of it.
them.
I'm
Except
sure
for
of it.
Anthony Michael Hall, who was just like jacking it in the back seat while his dad drove him home.
Okay, how about this?
And the CGI workers on that movie were incredibly good.
Unrealistic. Would you rather 10 random people die immediately or grilled cheese doesn't exist?
Oh, 10 random people.
Yeah. People die all the time. All day.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Every
know what?
day.
Here, I thought of one this morning that I want to ask you about. I don't like this. I'm gonna turn this off.
How's it? Why is it reflecting you? It doesn't
I don't know.
make
It's
sense.
weird. Would you rather always have the feeling of a popcorn husk stuck in the back of your throat,
Oh, no.
or the feeling of after you go swimming and you have water in your ear and you can't get it out?
I guess
Which
the popcorn
one
thing.
would
The
you
popcorn.
choose to constantly live with?
Popcorn, because I feel like I could ignore it eventually.
You
The
think?
ear thing would prevent me from hearing things normally, you know?
It gives you that like I'm in a bubble feeling.
Dude, I hate that feeling because you can also like turn your head back and forth and you can feel it go wah, wah, like
Wow.
yeah.
Elliot.
Do you ever get that? Like, when was the last time that happened to you and you shake it out, right? Like you stick your finger in your ear and you go.
I do this.
Or you
and
do
then
this?
Get that. It's one of the most relieving feelings,
satisfying,
cathartic that we don't talk
Yep.
about. It like has that warm,
It's warm.
drainy feeling.
Why is it warm?
Because it's your brain.
It's your brain goo.
Your brain goose coming out?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's not. That sounds dangerous.
I guess,
don't
yeah.
like-
I mean, I'd have to go with the Colonel, I guess, but both of them are really horrible options.
Just
I mean, that's a
miserable,
great would you
right?
rather, Joe, because it's really
misery-inducing. Yeah.
two terrible things.
In
Makes
fact,
me really
it's-
thankful that I don't currently have water in my ear or popcorn in the back of my throat.
Yeah.
It's a very nice sober.
I hate it so much that I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to
All right,
say
well,
goodbye.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Valleycast.
I've had enough.
everybody.
Guys, look, we appreciate you joining us. Joe, welcome back. We're glad to
Thank
have you
you.
back. We'll, hopefully we'll get Kevin in here again, and then we'll be just the regular old wacky boys being wacky on this show that you guys listen to sometimes and get to have a fun time. Maybe it's a distraction from life.
Wacky boys or
Maybe get a couple
girls.
of giggles. Oh, yeah, wacky girls.
That's the twist.
But I want to thank you guys for joining us. Thank the patrons. Anything, guys, got any plugs or anything like that?
No, not really. I've been working on a series called Relay Race over at 100 Thieves.
That's cool.
I've released 4 episodes, 2 more to go. A lot of hard work went into it. Go check it out.
Yeah, you like it, Joe?
Nice.
I do. Yeah.
You proud
Just,
of it?
silly stuff. Make adults do silly things.
I like it. That's all I want. I just want to do silly things.
Adult
forever.
Double Dare, kind of, but not as
Oh, I
messy.
love that. I'll check it out.
Nice. Cool.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thanks to our sponsors, and we'll catch you next time
Bye.
on the show.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. I love you.
Joe, you okay?
Look at this filter.
That's crazy.
I don't think that's a filter.
No, this is not my face. I cannot make this look my face like this.
See, that doesn't look real. Eh.